It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
Absolutely. We're very lucky we got a lawyer on hand here.
Oh, boy.
And I need to know the details about this one. Because Tennessee is about to become a permitless carry state. Some are screaming, no! And some are praising Jesus. So let's go over the actual law about this with LawyerWayne.com. Now on the Joe Padula Show, absolutely make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, click that like, leave those comments. Casey is on it. Intern Casey's on the comments. And definitely help us out by sharing this video in your timelines and in your groups right now. We got that shadow ban thing. All right, Lawyer Wayne.
All right.
Hold on, I have a question.
Okay.
Bella just asked me if Joe is related to the cake boss.
The cake boss? No, I'm related to the KKK boss. A little different.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to have to find out when I submit my ancestry.
That's right. We're going to find out all kinds of things. Who Joe really is.
Who asked that?
Joe's super KKK.
Yeah. Who asked that?
Courtney.
What's up, Courtney? How you? Is she cute?
Yeah, she's cute.
I am then. I am. He's my uncle.
Cake boss.
I got cake boss money.
All right.
Wait till this 23andMe come back, ladies. Wait till that comes back.
Well, here, intern Casey. I know it's your first day on the job, but please go back to the Joe shot, so I can lead Lawyer Wayne
You
into the. No, I introduced Lawyer Wayne into the conversation, and now we're going with the lead. You never been to broadcasting school?
No.
Yeah, it shows. Okay.
I'm doing good. It's on you.
Doing well. And it's on I. All right, so firearms legislation proposed by the governor
Yeah.
has been making its way through the Tennessee General for qualified Tennesseans, and it was passed by the Senate, the state Senate,
Okay.
last week.
Useless, but okay.
Okay?
We don't even need a Senate.
Senate Bill
Completely pointless.
0765.
Right. Just a house is fine.
Well, it was
people.
passed on the third reading by the Senate by Thursday, and now it's going to head to the committee, and now it's going to be going towards the governor.
All right.
So
And he's expected to sign it, right?
it was voted 23-9 in favor of.
And the governor does not have true veto power in Tennessee. That is, to override a veto, all it takes is a majority. So, not that we care, but he'll probably sign it.
All right, what's in this bill? What does it mean?
I don't know. I didn't read it. You think those senators read it? No. They do what everybody else does. They read some article summarizing. No, I got it right for him. It's 16 pages long. First,
is it really?
yeah. That's
not bad.
First line is the most important of the bill. It says, a person who is not otherwise prohibited from possessing a firearm may possess a firearm, either openly or concealed. Simple enough.
Which means?
And then the other 16 pages are all the exceptions.
Oh, okay, so what are the exceptions?
Well, to be fair, the other 16 pages also include doing things like going back and deleting other laws that are irrelevant now. That it's very simple. Unless there's some law saying you can't, you can carry one, right?
So, like a felon cannot.
So correct, and this actually creates some new exceptions, some new places you can't carry where this doesn't apply, like a school and such. It appears to exclude certain areas.
So I can't open, permitlessly carry in a school.
And it appears to do that. A lot of it you would have to actually go and look at the laws that it's changing or replacing to really get the full effect of. But I think the opening line there kind of tells you what the intention is. They don't want you to have a permit, right? They want to say why bother? Look, if you want to carry a gun, unless there's some reason it's illegal for you to carry one, you can have one. We're going to get rid of the permit system. Second
Amendment.
Yeah.
Now, what about when you say gun? Everyone thinks they're handgun when they come to this. What about their ARs?
It says
their armor lights.
It says firearm.
Yeah.
Technically, so I know there is another place in the law that where it defines what a firearm is, and there I believe would still be certain kinds of firearms that are prohibited, such as an automatic gun or rocket launcher. Those have extra regulations on them, things like that.
That they do.
I was looking down past it. There's something about razor blades, because a lot of these laws are about weapons. There are lots of laws that talk about weapons in general.
Okay.
And then they say, well, what's a weapon?
Yeah.
And then lawyers get to argue over it.
So we can open carry razor blades.
They got rid of the blade length law It used to be there was a limit on how long your knife could be.
30 inch.
Now you can walk down the road with a sword if you want to. They got rid of that years ago.
Casey, Christopher wrote a comment. What did Christopher write in there?
Does Tennessee have a 51% law?
A 51% law? Is he talking about it only takes 51% of the Congress to overturn a veto? If that's what you're talking about, yes.
So this bill, if the governor signs it,
I'm just getting into kind of obscure politics here.
yeah,
If the United States Congress passes a bill, right, and Joe Biden doesn't like it, he can veto it, right? Say no. Well, you can override a presidential veto, but you have to get 2/3 of them to do it.
but Tennessee,
Tennessee, it only takes half, which is the same amount it takes to pass a bill in the first place. So
Interesting.
vetoes are mostly symbolic. It is just an expression of displeasure because the governor knows if they want it passed, it gets passed.
let's see, Robert, what do you think
You're
about
doing
this?
my job.
Oh, sorry, Robert. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Let's go to Robert.
All that practice for nothing.
Yo, me. All right. Pros and cons. What do you think?
Pros and cons about people carrying guns
Yeah.
anywhere they want without permits.
Well, not anywhere they want.
Well,
it-
the
as-
majority.
Getting rid of the permitting system.
Okay, my personal opinion, I'm not a gun advocate.
Okay.
I don't own guns.
Well,
Don't
nobody's
care-
perfect,
Don't
you know.
care for them. But actually living in Tennessee, where I live right now, I have a lot of gun owners next to me.
Yeah.
And I will say that of the gun owners that I know, they're responsible people. I wouldn't know that they have whole arsenals in the house unless they told me, and they don't.
Arsenals, I love it. It's true, though.
It's true.
It's
It
true.
is absolutely
Yeah.
true. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how it affects me that much. You know, I really don't. I think if people are going to carry guns around, it's not going to change anything about my life day in and day out. I think it is kind of weird in the wake of these two gun shootings that we have. I don't know. Obviously, we're Tennessee. We're talking about Georgia and Colorado, so I don't know if that opens a door in Tennessee to something that maybe we're not anticipating. But
One thing to keep in mind, if just to give a little context to the bill, the exceptions for the permit system are already so broad in Tennessee that they almost don't matter.
Yeah, that's what I
You're already
figured.
allowed to have a gun without a permit at your house, at your work, in your car, right? So the only time you need is to carry it between those two places.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you kind of got an exception for transporting it between those two places, anyways.
Into the grocery store. So then, why is this being considered a controversial bill then? You're right, Lawyer Wayne. It could already be in the car, right?
Right.
It could already be in the house without a permit, and
Unless as here, otherwise
unless
prohibited.
felon, right?
It just goes to the idea of, do you want to assume that guns should be illegal unless we, the government, allow you to have them, or should they be legal unless we have a law prohibiting it? It's two different ways to approach the problem.
I'm always going to look at it as an economic function. So who is getting the money for the permits?
State, right?
The state.
And-
so
and I
so it
think
wasn't
you
enough
may-
money for the state to even argue. Like, they were fine losing that revenue from taxpayers. They were like, oh, it's
Screw
not.
it.
It's
This
but
$5 a month.
it's
My recollection
what we
is
call
gun
in
permits
business.
pretty cheap.
We call it budget dust. You
Yeah.
know, it's
I
nothing.
have a question.
Yeah, what's up, intern Casey?
What were you going to call me?
Intern Shane.
He just reads what's on front.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Right.
I don't think that we've talked about this yet, but I think a lot of the shootings, the stuff that happens in burglaries and shootings and stuff is illegal guns. So I feel like the right to carry a gun doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be more shootings, right?
Well,
It's already illegal to shoot people and
yes,
murder them,
it-
so
it is right.
that hasn't changed.
But let me go to Bay on this one because Bay,
Permitless murder.
intern Shane, let me go to Bay on this one. So Bay, Casey said something interesting. Robert said something interesting. Brittany and David, I'm going to go to you guys next. But Bay, I heard. Okay, I read on Twitter. I'll just go there. Okay, the credible source known as Twitter. It might be true, right?
Read it on the internet.
So, the two shootings, one in Atlanta, one in Boulder, Colorado. Okay. because Tennessee, among other states, are also going through this process of permitless carry. Well, some are saying that these mass murders are happening because to distract from these laws being passed or these bills being passed into law. Your thought on that conspiracy theory?
It's a way of doing. Hey, look over here.
Okay.
You know, because what happened before lockdown happened? There was another mass shootout in the San Fran at that one convention right before the lockdown happened.
Oh.
Do we know if the shootings mostly have permit? I mean, are they legally owned guns? Or?
The guy in Boulder bought the guns. Bought them.
Right.
Bought them outright. Yeah.
And then again, you got to think about the careless permit now.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have your gun while you're drinking or having any type of illegal activity.
Such as?
You know, illegal stuff.
Puff, puff, give.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, man, you going out to the club drinking and you got your gun on you get pulled over. You going to get charged with that.
David Shelton,
yes, sir.
I don't see so much changing after this conversation with this. What is your thoughts on the permitless carry?
Well, the very first thing I have to get out of the way is I own guns.
Okay.
And I have long been an advocate for Second Amendment rights within reason. And so the one question I have that I feel like is relevant in this entire issue is a matter of training. I went through the Citizen Police Academy way back about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And if you've never done it, I highly recommend you do it. It's an abbreviated 13-week course that you take to learn more about the police department.
And that's working coincide with the actual police department, correct?
Yes, it's run by the police department, and they do it to help citizens to understand better the department and what the actual cops go through, and it also helps educate the public on what goes on. And one of the most eye-opening things that I went through in that was a session where they did shoot, don't shoot scenario.
Yes, right.
And one of the requirements, as I understand it, and Lawyer Wayne, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, is that part of the permitting process includes that. Includes the shoot, don't shoot scenario. It's basically to help people understand not only the law, but also to help people kind of understand when to plug a hole in somebody and when not to.
See, I like what David's saying
I
here.
feel like my opinion is that, yeah, permitless carry, great, but we've got to have a level of training and understanding so that if somebody's got a sidearm, whether they're hidden or not, I kind of want to make sure I'm not going to get shot by accident.
Right.
If I could jump off of that, that's some really good points here. And it talks about the idea of
off a building.
When you have a right, there's also responsibilities that come with that.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so, for example, we have the right to free
Uncle
speech.
Ben.
Or
right?
driving the car.
You have the right to say things. Well, you ought to use your speech responsibly. Right?
Yeah.
And that kind of deal. Okay, Tennessee, you want permitless carry? If this were combined with, say, I don't know, we're going to teach all the kids in Tennessee schools how to properly shoot a gun, what to do, what not to do, that kind of stuff. Maybe you could absolutely pitch that. Say, look, our children have the right under the Constitution to carry guns. Let's take the responsibility to raise them up on how to use it properly.
I agree. Better training. Now, Brittany. Okay, you get final word on this one before we move forward. All right. Yay or nay on this?
I really don't care about guns. I mean, I think about having gun safety is important.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to not have guns. So
Right. So train.
Yeah.
Training.
And maybe, do they do background checks?
Oh, yeah.
There's still
Oh,
the position has simply shifted from it's still illegal to carry guns, and there's laws saying who can or cannot have a gun. But unless there's some law saying you can't, you can. You don't have to get the government's permission first.
Yeah.
Now, as I understand it, real quick, for open carry, to have a holster, it's perfectly legal. You don't have to have a permit for that, correct?
That is not correct in Tennessee.
Really?
My understanding. Now, I don't want to go out on a limb and say I'm giving people legal advice. Look it up or call me for real and pay me to tell you if you want to go on this.
Free consultation.
But Tennessee was one of the states where they didn't differentiate between open and concealed carry.
Interesting.
Because some states do have that where it's okay to carry it openly, but you have to have a permit to carry it concealed. The last time, and I actually edited a gun handbook, but this was 15 years ago now, and they've changed the laws a lot since then. Back then, at least, no. Tennessee had a permit for concealed, open, whatever, and you needed the permit to carry a gun in certain places no matter what. So,
all right. Well, hey, let us know what you think, and write your comments below. Intern Casey, anyone stand out comment-wise? Okay.
Not a whole lot coming up.
You don't do the odds.
Poor commenters.
Okay. Never mind. Don't worry.
Ignorance of the law doesn't work in any situation.
And so it does the ignorance of the intern also. Right. Dang. No, I'm
Look,
just busting your
just
chops.
turn you off.
Believe me, you have no problem turning me off. Okay.
So mean.
So moving forward.
How do I get back off?
Yeah, Jay.
Jay.
There you go. Would you stop saying? Oh, you're removing
giving the
theater.
code.
Yeah, the theater of the
Sorry.
mind.
Oh my gosh. It just happens
I
naturally.
mean the P.
Uh,
I mean the jerk. They don't have that on the.
you know what? This is good for Casey. She's been hanging out with her kids way too much. All right, so now when she talks to
You're a
adults,
bad influence, Joe.
she speaks in kid language.
That's not true. It's because you are like a kid. I feel like I have to talk to you that way.
Coming up, the beatings will begin. We're gonna play.
It's the Joe Padula Show. Bada bing. Clarksville's conversation.